Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is a forecast for all of you lovely fire sign people. And this is a date that goes from February 18th to the 28th. I always have to add that or I forget. And I'm being a little revisionist because I want to go back on some of the dates that occurred so that we can tie it into what's going on this week. So let's jump in and get going with this. But before I get started, I always like to say to people, like, share, and subscribe to this channel because it does help us grow. The more I can pull in subscribers, the more things I can do for you folks. So just keep that in mind. And without much ado, let's go. So Aries, what's happening with you? Well, let's look at the moon. I always think of it as the local moon, but it's not. It's not a restaurant, although sometimes it feels like that. And what pertains to you the most strongly? Well, I think that on the 25th, 26th, we have the moon in Gemini. And for you Arians, anything in an air sign is fabulous. So where does that fall in your solar chart? It falls in your third house of communication. Now, it sounds a little dull, but it really isn't. It has to do with the way you expand yourself into the world, how you communicate and reach out to people. We will be talking more about this area of your chart in a minute because there's lots of action happening here. So keep that in mind. Now let's go backwards a little bit. On the 18th, which was Wednesday, we had a total eclipse, and it was a Kapow solar eclipse in 28 degrees Aquarius, which is another air sign which you resonate with. And it fell in that area of your chart where it's possible to have powerful people supporting your actions. It also relates to your desires to move forward in the world on something that matters to you. And it was at 28 degrees, so it's like the last gasp of Aquarius before we move into Pisces. And it allows you to connect with powerful people, possibly with deep pockets. So that's an important factor here. On the 20th, we had a Neptune conjunction of Saturn. I waxed on about that, trying to demonstrate it symbolically in my forecast review. So take a look at that. But what's important about this is that this is in your sign, Aries. Neptune in Aries and Saturn in Aries, they conjunct, which means they come together in a marriage. Neptune, the visionary, and Saturn, the pragmatist, pushing forward your desires and dreams and hopes for whatever it is that matters to you. And at 0 degrees, truly, this is a degree that astrologers are really not that familiar with. They know it's happened before, but they're not sure how it'll play out. So it's something to keep your eye on and to pay attention to, and also to know that this particular transit of Saturn and Aries in your first house, in that area of your house that you describe yourself to the world in whatever form or fashion, will play out until the end of March. So this is a great time for you to gain momentum on something that really matters to you and your identity. Now, on Sunday the 22nd, we had Venus trining Jupiter. Venus in Pisces, Jupiter in Cancer, 2 water signs coming together merrily to push again something that's important to you. And one is in Pisces and one is in Cancer. And for you, the Piscean energy is in your 12th house of deep spiritually held beliefs, your desire to bring something into the world. And then in Jupiter, which is is in Cancer, in your 4th house of home and family. Something big could have been going on in the home and with your mom. And this same energy occurred about 12 years ago, around 2014. So you might want to backtrack and look at that. And if you have questions, please drop me a line. I love to answer questions. cottagetarot.com. And then on Thursday the 26th, we have Mercury goes retrograde. As if we didn't have enough chaos, we have 9 weeks of this retrograde. And for you, it falls in that area of your chart that has to do with your life purpose and your directional compass, so to speak. And anything and everything to do with secrets that you hold very close to the chest. If you are incarcerated or have issues with hospitals or any kind of institution, this could bring some communication deadlines and delays. On the 27th, Mars, the planet of action, squares off, puts their dukes up, so to speak, with Uranus and Taurus. And Mars is in Aquarius in your 11th house, which I talked about a minute ago, where powerful people might be supporting your dreams and wishes. It squares off to Taurus, which falls in your 2nd house of finance. So there may be concerns on the part of some of your shareholders or people that are trying to back you that there isn't enough money in the background to support you. Or it could be a situation where you dream of doing something, but you don't have the cash to bring it forward. So you may have to wait. So that's happening. And with the Mercury retrograde occurring as well, there could be delays on a lot of different fronts. On Saturday the 28th, when the Mercury, albeit in retrograde, conjuncts to Venus, it's in that 12th house of secrets, of your life purpose. So it could be a good time to get together with somebody and share your life plan or your designs for a certain project or your concerns about something. But even though could be a deep conversation or 3, it's going to be very fruitful. So keep that in the back of your head when you're talking to this person or group of people. So that's your week. Now let's jump ahead and take a look at the oracle cards and see what they're offering up. And then we'll throw some tarot on it as well. Okay, this is for Aries. Aries, Aries, Aries. Retreat into nature. I know it can be cold in certain parts of the world right now. Or maybe it's too humid or whatever. It's a good time to get out and hug a tree. Or look at plants. Or if you can't get out, go to a botanical garden or go to a greenhouse or, something like that. I have to have a sip of my coffee. Aries, Aries, Aries. King of Wands. Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, non-gender specific. You're being asked to stand up and speak your mind. Shout it from the rooftops. It has to do with money. There's enough, but as much as is coming in, that much will be going out to pay for things. So you need to vent and speak your mind. 8 of Pentacles, this is about your career. It's about the work you do. You're aware that you put a lot of effort and energy into the work you're doing. Are you being compensated fairly? Are you thinking of expanding your career? Queen of Wands, non-gender specific, same thing. Aries, Sag, or Leo. You are being asked to be in charge of something. You are asked to pull the most powerful part of your psyche out of your pocket and into the world. Some Aries are very, very subdued people, and they've been taught that. But you're actually a firebrand. So it's time to speak your mind. There may be an argument that comes out of this. Don't be afraid. It's an argument. It can be a discussion. 6 or 5 of Wands. The Wands are also fire signs. It's all very interesting how these cards speak to your issues. Doors will open this coming week. There is an opportunity for you for growth, financial, physical, mental, all the way around. And some of it will come from you releasing your inner warrior, whoever he, she, they are. This is a powerful, powerful set of transits. You know, the other thing I have to mention is that this Neptune conjunction to Saturn, where the intuition meets up with the practical, has very, very little understanding very little is known how this 0 degree in this particular transit will play out. But I do feel, because it is in Aries, Neptune is in Aries, Saturn is in Aries, you're bringing fire to that intuition that you carry around with you. And you're exercising it. I'm thinking of some people that I need to talk to right now. I will contact them immediately. But this is important. It's time to move on some of your dreams and desires and to listen to your intuition and to use practical know-how, whether it's yours or you can borrow it from a friend or a professional, to move this vision ahead. And one last card. What follows with all of this is some form of emotional healing for you. You've been wounded, and now it's time to heal. Okay, Aries, I want you to have a great week. Please contact me if you like my videos. Like, share, and subscribe. And be well. Okay, let's take a look at Leo. Dear Leo, have you felt a little scattered lately? I know I have. I have a lot of Leo planets in my chart. It's not been easy to hold the focus, I'm telling you. But let's get going and see what happens when we start talking about your chart. So we had on the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, the moon was in Taurus, and it was in your 10th house of career and community outreach. And that involves civic organizations. So it's not just, where you go to make your name for yourself in your career. It's also how you are involved in the world. The emphasis was in that particular area. And then the moon on the 25th and 26th is in the 11th house of large organizations. So there may have been, sort of a counterpoint. It started as they were talking about career, and then the organization's needs and wants got pulled into the discussion. And then on the 27th and 28th, the moon was in the 12th house of spirituality and life purpose. So you might have been asking yourself, with all the emphasis on the career and the place where career takes precedence, is this really what I want? Is this the direction I really want to take? So that's been going on. Okay, I'm going to backtrack a little bit and just sort of, try to keep this short and sweet without being too complex. But the total eclipse in Aquarius has your name written all over it because it is in your 7th house. It's the Aquarius is opposite Leo, and it was all about partnerships. And it's at the 28th degree. It's a powerful degree of, and this total eclipse resonates for a long time to come. So the emphasis for you will be on long-term partnerships, the people in your life and what they mean to you as you relate to them as partners and confidants. 28 degrees of Aquarius is found in the charts of very famous, powerful people. That could be you. It could be anybody that you feel is a partner. Then on top of it, on Friday the 20th, Neptune and Saturn conjuncted in Aries. Again, a fellow fire sign. And in the 9th house of expansion, exploration, travel, learning. And in the sign of powerful Aries. When you put Neptune and Saturn together, it's a meeting of polar opposites. Neptune, a visionary, Saturn, the pragmatist. But what Saturn does for Neptune is push the vision forward. It allows you an opportunity to take that thing that you've been dreaming of and make it reality. And it's fiery and it's potent. And even if you don't have the energy to do this, the sheer fact that it's in the sign of Aries makes it possible. Something to think about. On the 22nd, we had Venus trine Jupiter. Yay! Venus in Pisces and Jupiter in Cancer. Watery, comfortable, when you have two water signs together, they just like to flip around and be happy. And where did it fall in your chart? Your 12th house and in your 8th house. So you might have been encountering some very heavy, so that's why it was great that it was in Venus and Jupiter and in trining, because heavy, but not so heavy that it debilitated you. So something to think about. Heavy, deep, ponderous areas of your chart, the 8th house and the 12th house. 12th house, deep, ponderous, what's my purpose? What's my spiritual calling? And the 8th house, all about transition. The old time astrologers labeled it as, the 8th house was like death, sex, and taxes. So something to be aware of. On the 26th, we have Mercury going retrograde. Oh, glorious retrograde for 9 weeks. In Pisces, in your 8th house, confusing everything because it's all about transition. So you might think you're moving, and then you get notice that the apartment that you're trying to move into isn't ready yet. Or you sent the check and they didn't receive it. Or you thought you were getting this new job, but they want to delay it for 6 weeks. Or it's all about transition and the snafus that can accommodate it or accompany it, pardon me. And that lasts 9 weeks. So let's say we're at the end of February. So we go through March, almost into April, end of April. So keep your eyes on this. Make sure your bank statements are balanced and rectify everything that comes in because there can be mix-ups. On the 27th, Mars will have a square off with Uranus. Mars in Aquarius, which is in your, of course, your long-term partnership area, and Uranus in Taurus in your career area. So you may find that your partner is tired of the long hours you are putting in and they miss you. Or you may have a partner who doesn't want to move across the United States so that you can take a very important job. Something like that. Or it could be something simpler, like your partner is on an 8-hour shift, comes home and finds that there are dirty dishes in the sink, etc., etc. Something you can work on. Something very practical that you can apply here without losing your mind, okay? And then lastly, even though Mercury is retrograde, we have a very peaceful, Mercury will be conjuncting Venus in the sign of Pisces. Conjunctions are good. And it's like a marriage between two planets. And for you, that's in your 8th house. So if there is something that's changing in your life, or you may find out that you've got money coming to you from an estate, or you have a severance package that you weren't aware of that you were going to receive, or a bonus from your employer. But whatever it is, you didn't know it was happening. With the Mercury retrograde involved here, even though it's positive, you may not know that this good thing is coming your way. So that's the news there, astrologically. Let's take a look at what's happening with the cards. Leo, Leo, Leo. By the way, if you like what I do, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to move something here. Like, share, and subscribe. It makes a world of difference. And I'm trying to build up my channel. So if you find what I'm doing is enlightening, please let me know too, because I'm at cottagetarot.com. Okay, Leo, what is it that you need to have focused on? Leo, 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 Leo. Right. Okay, when this card comes up, it means you need to be taking, at the very least, notes. A lot of Leos are fabulous writers, by the way. Let's see what we can add to this. Leo, Leo, Leo. So there's been a little bit of nervousness about the money situation. 5 of Pentacles. But when it's 5 of Pentacles, there's hope. See, this couple is walking through the snow. One person is missing a leg, but there's a warm, inviting light coming through the window. It's probably a church in the background, and it's saying you can get out of the snow. There's help available. Likewise, on a symbolic level, this is a period of time where, and I'm going to link it to the writing card, where contacting someone, writing to them, sharing your ideas, dropping a memo could help you figure out something that will benefit you financially. Don't ignore the obvious. An old friend can help you out as well with your possible financial situation, your financial woes. They may have some good ideas. 6 of Cups. It will benefit you financially. It'll benefit your family. You may actually find that they discovered some money that you didn't know you had. 10 of Cups. You have the skills, the talent on so many different levels to advance yourself now. You will pull in extra money, and yes, you will be able to pay your debts. It won't be a lot of extra, but it will really settle you in and give you some balance. 6 of Pentacles. And it's lucky. The timing is superb. The Star card is always known as a lucky card, a card that comes in to save the day. So keep that in mind. Okay, Leo, I'm glad I got a chance to read for you today. So much is happening right now. Don't get down. Leos need a lot of sunlight. Doesn't mean you have to go bake on a beach, but take an opportunity to get out, walk around, breathe some air, and let me know how you're doing. Drop me a line. I'm at cottagetarot.com, like I said before. And if you have any new ideas for me that you'd like to share, or ideas about things I could do for you on the channel, let me know. And on that note, take care. Okay, Sagittarius, what's happening with you people? I hope it's exciting. Now, we're going to jump right in. We're going to look at the moon cycle. And of course, I've been telling everybody, this is a forecast from the 18th to the 28th. I'm being a little revisionist and doing it on purpose. And you'll see as I go along. Okay, Sagittarius, the most important moon of this coming week is Wednesday the 25th and Thursday the 26th. The moon is in Gemini. It's exciting. It's communicative. And guess where it lands? In your opposite house, in the sign of partners in the 7th house. People that you relate to, people that you care about, and people that you see as partners. Partners in life, partners in crime, partners that work with you on a day-to-day basis, love relationships. It doesn't matter. It's those people that you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and say, hey, what are you doing today? And as they groggily start to talk to you, they're not angry. They would like to tell you to go back to sleep, but they know that you're an early riser and can't help yourself. So this is a fabulous connection of some sort. And when the moon is there, the needs of your partner and the basic relationship take precedence. And that will be on the 27th and the 25th and 26th. So let's jump into some of the aspects that have been occurring. On the 18th, we had a total eclipse in Aquarius. Sagittarians and Aquarians are like 2 peas in a pod. Well, it's the same in the regular chart. It's in your 3rd house. Aquarius is all about how you communicate, what you're thinking about, how you're sharing your ideas to the world. This total eclipse puts the emphasis on you communicating your ideas. You know, it's a massively powerful eclipse. It lasts for weeks and weeks and weeks. And for you, Sagittarius, it's so important. You realize that the ranks of well-known authors, playwrights, poets are made up of, and even composers are made up of famous Sagittarians. You people use the pen to communicate. On Friday the 20th, we had Neptune conjunct Saturn. If that total eclipse wasn't enough, we have Neptune conjunct Saturn in the sign of Aries, your fellow fire sign. In the area of love, the 5th house, children, art, anything that has anything to do with being joyful, creative. It is taking your visionary idea, Neptune, and wedding it to Saturn, practicality. The pragmatist can push the visionary idea forward in the arts, in things, in areas that make you happy. This particular transit is at 0 degrees. We don't even know how this is going to play out. We haven't had one of these in so many hundreds of years. And this particular transit goes through March. So pay attention to this one. Think about what you love to do and what you dream of making real. On Sunday, the 22nd, Venus trines Jupiter. Yay! Venus in Pisces, Jupiter in Cancer, 2 water signs. Cancer's in your 8th house, and Venus is in, where is Venus? Where did it fall? In your 4th house of home and mother. What's happening with mother? Your mother, somebody else's mother. When it connects like that to Jupiter, there's a completion, there's a growth, there's a growing into something new. Something very similar to this happened 12 years ago. If you can backtrack to 2014, you may find that these 2 experiences are very similar. On Thursday, the 26th, while the moon is in Gemini, Mercury retrogrades into the sign of Pisces, and that's in the area of your home and family and mother. So there could be 9 weeks of confusion that is in your home and family life, where communication is a little bit jumbled. Just saying. I don't see retrogrades as a bad thing. To me, a retrograde gives you the opportunity to make changes, to revise something that maybe wasn't working all that well to begin with. On the 27th, which is Friday. Now, remember, we've got this total eclipse that started this whole ball rolling to create this very powerful 8 days. Am I counting right? 6 days. Which will vibrate us along the pathway for weeks and weeks to come. And it will affect change on so many different levels, we can barely keep track of it all. Mars on the 27th in Aquarius, in your 3rd house of sharing ideas and talking to people and communicating your ideas. I talked about that a minute ago. We'll have a square off, an argument with Uranus, which is a little bit, Uranus is all about technology and science, and it's a little robotic, with Uranus and Taurus is practical. So you could, and that's in your 6th house of work. So you could find yourself around the 27th having a knockdown, drag out fight verbally, because it's all in your 3rd house of communication and your 6th house of work and how you work. You could have this argument that needs to be aired. You're going to rip off the old bandage and say it like it is. You're not going to keep it under your hat. My dog agrees. Whew. Breathe. You have supporters. You have people that love you. People love Sagittarians. Okay. Saturday the 28th, Mercury, although it's retrograde and a little bit confused right now, will conjunct Venus in the sign of Pisces. And it is again in your 4th house. Something is happening in your home life and with issues around mom, particularly mom, because this is the area of mother, where there will be lots of talking and sharing of ideas and communicating with people in a very loving way. It could be planning something, it could be getting people together, it could be all manner of means. But it's not bad. It kind of softens the week or the week and a half that we've been experiencing. So there, folks, Sag, that's what's happening. There's no way to sugarcoat some of the experiences you're going to have. Not only are you getting energy poured into your home life, but it's also happening in the workplace. And it's forcing you to come to terms with some things that you were trying to ignore. And Sages are not known for their reticence, but that's what's going on right now. Okay, let's take a look at the oracle cards. What is it that Sagittarians need to hear and experience right now? Sag, 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 Sag. Priorities. What matters the most to you right now? Is it your health? Is it the need to buy new shoes? Or go out to dinner with friends? What's your priority? Let's keep this real. Sag, Sag, Sag. What's going on with Sagittarius? If you like my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And the sharing part's important. Let people know I exist. If you have comments to make, go to Cottage, COTTAGE, Tarot, TAROT.com. Number one, yes, you've been worried about money. You feel like you can't earn it fast enough. There is hope and support in the background. There's an opportunity to get in out of the cold. These are two poor people limping past a beautiful church. And in the old days, churches were a place where people could go and get food or get out of very inclement weather. It's the same thing symbolically. There's a chance for you to get in out of the cold. I'm going to have a sip of coffee. You've been sleepless like crazy. You're not resting at night when you do close your eyes. You can't control everything. 9 of Swords. You may have to get somebody who's an expert in finance or real estate or something else to sit down and act as a consultant with you, or a therapist, because the 2 of Wands is always about consulting with someone. That could help you a lot. There will be a victory. You're moving forward. You are on the right path. You are going to come out on top of whatever is bothering you. This is you, Queen of Wands, non-gender specific. I don't care what you consider yourself. This energy is about you taking charge, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries energy. And I know I'm reading for Sages, but this is you being the businesswoman. I believe it has to do with you winning. It's something you've been fighting for. There will be money coming to you, some form of compensation. 6 of Coins. There'll be news about money, like a draft or an announcement. Knight of Pentacles. You've worked hard for this. You've been carrying a lot on your shoulders 10 of Wands. Again, the wands are fire. This is interesting because all these wands they have tips that are different colors. This is all the chakras. Your solar plexus, your throat chakra, your head chakra, your all the areas of your body. I actually wear a pendant that has all the chakras. Yeah. There's a rebirth coming to you. It's going to get better. It's improving as we speak. It's not been easy. You've had a psychological ending of some sort. And lastly, again, it's the King of Wands. It's a fire sign, Sag, Leo, or Aries. You're dealing with a Sag, a Leo, or an Aries personality, and it's not been easy. I'm going to put one more card on this person. There will be financial benefits coming to you. You may be asked to take a bigger position at work. You may inherit some money. It will be okay. All right, Sagittarius, please drop me a line, and please find time to relax and enjoy the season as it's upon us. Even though it's a little bit snowy in the Northeast, if that's where you live, or I don't know who's listening to me all the time, but wherever you are, it's important to get out and enjoy nature. So have a wonderful week, and I'll be back here sometime around the 2nd of March. Take care. Be well.